Hey, Mr. Smalls. Hey, hi. Hey, yaha. So this is round two of drawing Monty. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Hey, RDD. Furry Edits. Yes, I do remember you. Actually, I think I'm going to switch it up and do the blacks first. Layer some nice rich blacks down. And this will help to get all the nice little undertones and shadows. Can I draw Withered Bonnie? Yeah, I mean I can. I might put it up for the next live for the poll, and we can. Oh, edits. Oh, okay. Yeah, RXGB. I have not seen you in I can't tell you how long. So first off, how have you been? And it's great to see you back in the community. Hey, Tristan, how are you doing? See, you made this live, Tristan. You made this live. And I'm glad that you did, because I think you will like it. I'm feeling a lot more pep in the step. Yesterday I was a little bogged down from work and a little tired, and I feel like today is going to be a day where we're probably going to be able to finish this in 3 hours. And if we don't, I will log off because Choxy and I did a collaboration, and I can't wait to see what he creates for his section. So I did Shadow, and he's going to do Sonic, and my version's just been out now. But I really can't wait to see what he comes up with because he's really amazing and with illustrative work, so I can't wait to see what he comes up with. Thank you so much, Artie. I really mean that. I mean, I really appreciate that. The morning coffee has yet to kick in. One reason why I like to do, and if you haven't seen my Sonic and Shadows drawing, one of the things that I really like to do with drawings is mixed media. So I'll layer inks and acrylics and then paint pens and alcohol markers all on top of each other. And you get like a really unique image. But when you do it with just one medium per side, it really you have to hone in on a certain artistic skill. Okay, now we can add our light purple down. Might be a little too dark. Let's do something just a wee bit lighter. Thanks, Artie. Yeah, I am a fan of color pencils, but I'm not a fan of how long that they take because with color pencils, it's a lot of slow, rigorous work. And if you stress the paper too much, or it's a really you have to put yourself in a really good mental state where you're going to say we are going to devote like if I was doing all of this in color pencils, you're going to have to say to yourself, we're just going to devote 30 minutes to an hour and a half, depending upon how much detail we want to get. And that's just, for me, it becomes really hard because I'm on a very much of a time crunch because I work a full time job outside of this. So I have to create something that I like. It has to be quick, but it also has to be quality. You can't just make something for the sake of making it. Now, I am following a reference image. It's not like I'm just randomly throwing colors down. But if anyone has any questions, hey, Finn, what's going on? Can you give some Tristan? Can you give some tips on art? Do you have any pet peeves about art? Yeah, one of my biggest pet peeves is the time sink. It is as much as I love creating, I love concept art. I love like the initial planning of some really cool creature or character, but I don't really like the dogmatic details that come along with wanting to create something cool. So it's getting over that little bump, if you will. Like, you have to be able to want to create something fun, but it's going to have to take time, and time is a precious commodity. So it's like sometimes I have a hard time understanding, do the ends justify the means? So if there's a cheat code out there in the art world, I always try to look for it because, yeah, I just don't have the time. Thanks, Fresh Calamari. I really appreciate that. Kalumba, if I'm saying that correct, what is going on? If anyone has any questions, you ever wanted to ask someone anything about art, or just want to sit back and relax and just enjoy, more than welcome. But if you have a question, feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. And why I'm using this side of the pencil is purely for texture. Is that a crocodile? Well, yes, Monty is a gator specifically. He is from the character Five Nights at Freddy's. I believe it's Security Breach. It was a request within the community to draw him for the next live. And he is an animatronic robot that has been, well, destroyed. So there's going to be all sorts of cracks, and he's not going to have a smooth gleam. As you can see, the pauldron on his right shoulder that I'm drawing now is all disheveled and chipped and dented. Do I do paintings? Yes. When I do paintings, Finn, I like to do paintings of Bob Ross style. So I like to do the happy little trees and things like that. If you want, we just kind of started with the stream, but if you want later on in the stream, I can show you some paintings depending upon what the time crunch allots. A good thing to note, and I will, since we're talking about this, do not always try to use black and white. Try to use, whenever you're trying to do any kind of three-dimensional work, there's going to be browns, there's going to be reds, there's going to be greens. It's not just going to be purple, black, and white as a three-value shade. You'll get a great sense of value with that work, meaning blacks and whites, but it won't have as much life to it. Perfect example, your skin. It has all these blue textures and green textures and orange and red. It's not just a peach color or a brown color. It has multiple layers underneath it. So do take that in consideration. That's a good tip for anyone who's trying to get better at realism. Is that your color choices really matter. Hey, Kalumba, if you post something on a community or if you post something in a video and you want me to take a look at it, I'll be more than happy to. You can always at me. I'm always interested to see what any kind of artist, young, old, new, experienced, create. It's my wish to grow the art community and to let people know that you don't have to be afraid to post something. As much as social media can be negative about certain things, the art community is very forgiving, and especially the fan bases of like anime and gaming, which is something I love to do. And again, I'm going to try to avoid white. So to do a lot of these subtle blends, I'm going to take this nice, beautiful, well, what's the color that they're calling it here? Some type of blue nuance, but basically it's like a steel blue. a white grayish blue, and we're going to blend a lot of this out and keep all the nice colors that come with it and blend with it and mute it all out, and it's going to give a nice smooth transition. And I'm not pressing hard. So for a color pencil tip, you're not really pressing hard at all. This is actually really soft and it's just gently working over continuously. Hey, Just a Kid Life, welcome back. What do you think the most who do you think I'm sorry. Who do you think had the most damage? Um hmm, damage as in physical or damage as in mental sense? Because I really don't. I know of the characters of Monty and Roxy, but I don't know too much about them. If you're going for like prolonged mental, sadly, damage, as a character arc, I would have to give that to Chica because she's one of the original. And now I can follow up with white for the highlights, but once again, I'm working small. I want this to blend out and still be smooth because even though it's dented, it still has undulations. It still has strong, definite highlights. And for the last highlight, like we did here and here and here, we'll add a paint pen to just give it that nice little pop of color. Instead of anime, it's anime, but I tried drawing realistic Gojo. Very cool. I am a huge fan of Jujutsu Kaisen. One of the reasons why I love JJK as an anime is because with any kind of anime, I'm of the sound, mind, and body with any kind of media, whether it's a book, a movie, short story, etc. You have to grip me within like the first bit of time. You can't just say, well, it gets better after 8 episodes. Well, I'm not watching 8 episodes. If you have to tell me in 8 episodes it's good, then it's not worth my time. My time is valuable. So I love how like the opening scene of Jujutsu Kaisen has Yuji Itadori like locked up and Gojo's just kind of like sitting in a chair right in front of him and you're like, yo, what is going on? If you've never read the manga, you're like, I have no idea. And then, of course, do not get attached to a character. If you love characters, do not get attached to them when watching that show. You will be heartbroken. How do I even make the sketch? It takes a really, really long time to make said sketch. So it took me about an no, about an hour to sketch this whole thing out. But I kept it very loose. The reason why I kept it very loose is because I was going to go over it with a lot of medium, and I didn't want to put too much grayscale into it, meaning blacks and whites. With any skill, you'll find that it takes time. Not your bay. It takes time, and you'll get better, and you just get quicker. You'll see shapes faster. So yeah, it might seem like it's a humble brag, like oh, only an hour, but like it just takes time. And when you get better, you'll notice that you could just draw and sketch a lot faster. I've been doing this a pretty long time, so I get a kind of a good concept of how to sketch out pretty fast. Although I'm not as fast as I've seen a lot of other people do on TikTok, YouTube, etc. Once again, I'm going to be adding. Hey, Caden, welcome back. Oh, thank you so much, Not Your Bad. I just saw your first comment. You're trying. Oh, Just a Kid Life. You're trying to find a way to get better at manga. Yeah, there's a couple of good resources on YouTube that go over because manga and anime drawing have a very distinct feature. So something I said in my previous live is that, um, for instance, Marvel superheroes and supervillains are about 6.5 to 7 heads tall on average. All characters are they have this like specific ratio, if you will, and it's something that's not to say is known, but it's something that's implied when you learn how to draw Marvel. So when you're drawing anime characters, there's going to be ratios that you're going to have to understand. Is like how many heads tall are there? How the eye size to the head ratio. There is a concept called anime eyes, which coincidentally came out of Disney animation. So just a little interesting food for thought. Just adding in all these nice little cracked lines, and then we're going to go in with black. And black is what we use last because I like to use it as sparingly as I can. Just to give all these nice little 3 dimensions. And I see some people have come into the live, so if anyone has any questions, my name is James. I am a primarily self-taught artist, and I'm happy to help you with whatever art questions, or if you just want to sit back, relax, and chill and talk about anything, as long as it's family friendly, go right ahead. Norman, yes, it is Monty. It's Shattered Monty specifically. And the reason why I'm using black sparingly is because, one, it's really strong. It'll wash out all this color. But if you use it lightly and gently over the top, you'll still keep all these nice little reds and beige, reds and violets and everything else that I worked on the undertones, and they'll still be there underneath all that shadow, and it gives that black just a little bit of richness to it. Thank you so much, Norman. Just a kid life, that's okay. I hope that there is a whole bunch of people better than I am. I am not trying to be the best. I know it's just meant as a joke, so but yeah, I never aspired to be the best. When I was younger, I did, and I was very selfish about my art. But yeah, as an adult, I want to help. I want to help a lot of people in the community. I want to be like this generation's Bob Ross, but without the afro. With this nice little black ink, I can go in and add all these little cracks, and they can just become so subtle because I'm just barely touching the paper. I'm not even holding the pen. I'm just laying in my hand, and I'm just using my arm to just gently scrape and add in these nice values. As my favorite inspiration, Bob Ross would say, it's just like 3 hairs and some air. It's just a whisper. It's like you just gently glide it across, and you can get all these nice textures. It's just so simple, so easy. That's why I like working in mixed media, because you get just such a uniqueness to it. It's really, really cool. Some things you can't just always get with one medium. Let's say it's just a couple of cracks back into here. Nothing crazy. But I felt like since I'm doing it here, might as well add a few more just micro cracks with this pen here. Once again, you can do, these are the kinds of details that I like to do because you can add as little or as much as you like. And if your mind tells you, hey, stop it, then you know that you're done. Francesca, hello, how are you? JC, thank you so much. Just a Kid Life, yeah, I pretty much had a boatload of talent as a kid and then learned through other medium afterwards how to accentuate. But there is a difference, and I do say this seriously, between someone who is born with a skill and then someone who has to learn. The skill will only get you so far if you don't apply yourself. You can have all the basketball talent of LeBron James, but if you don't try, then you're just going to burn out. Okay, let's finish up this arm over here, and then we'll finish up the claw down here, but we'll work with this next. Once again, this is my fun little cheat code by layering inks down in a painterly manner. We can get all these nice cracks and shadows and values in before we add our markers. Just add the nice textures and layer it in. I'm out of ideas. Can you give me an anime character to draw? Well, I will say this. What is your favorite anime style or show? If you go with that, more often than not, you'll continue to draw what you love. If you draw what you love, you'll be a much happier artist, no matter what your plans are. Hinata from Naruto, great choice. Like I said, it really depends. I don't like I'm not saying I don't like telling people, but I don't like suggesting things because it might not be what they like. You know, I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan guy. I love me some DBZ, but that might not be for everyone, you know? So you have to kind of find what you like, what your niche is. Foxy's World, what's going on? Let me say hello to some of the people that I'm just seeing. Emily, hi, how are you? Thank you so much for stopping by. Norman, do you think you'll draw Eclipse anytime soon? Is that Sun and Moon, or am I just having like a senior brain fart moment? But yeah, I plan to do. It seems like a lot of the people in my community have always loved FNAF, and I kind of after the movie just was like, oh, Poppy Playtime's a new thing, and I'll just draw that. But yeah, I'll definitely put out suggestions in a poll probably later today, probably around dinner time on the East Coast here in the United States, so like 5 o'clock, and we will see what people want for whatever the next drawing is. Mel, thank you so much for that. That's really cool of you to say. Emzo Games, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Gary Yeti, hey, how you doing? I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I am really just doing all these lives because I want to connect with you, the audience, and also help people who might not have the time to comment or fully understand a comment. But if you have a question, then I can answer it here in live, and I can also show you because sometimes people are better seeing it than they are reading it. I know that that is for me. I am changing the colors on this slightly. I know Monty is a little bit brighter of a green. I'm keeping it a little bit more muted because in my eye, I want the shoulder to be back and I want the face to be forward. If he's crawling, his whole head is going to be forward like this, and the shoulder is going to be back here. And also, I think it just gives a more popping, striking image. But we will still add that green and scrub it in a circular motion to give it that nice, scaly, destroyed metal aesthetic. And then layer back on top with some other greens. This isn't done haphazardly. I have a mental idea of how I want the overall image to look. So that way when I layer more and more markers and they start to dissipate, you can see how it gets its color. Have I watched the Minecraft movie? I have not yet. Mainly because I'm probably going to wait till it gets on a streaming service. I don't want to, as an older guy, I don't want to go to the movies and have to deal with people screaming or throwing popcorn because then I will get angry and I don't need to get into any kind of altercations with a 14-year-old when I just want to watch a movie. So sometimes there's certain movies that you just know are going to be problematic. I almost had that at the Mario movie with my nephew when I took him a couple of years ago, and I'm like, I don't need this. Like, there are things in life I don't need, chiefly among them that. See now, when we add that nice little green, you can see all the yellows and all those nice transitional blends. As you build up in layers, it just gives it a sense of life, and I don't know. For me, I love it. I can't express it. This isn't in the original design, but I'm adding it anyway. It's just basically some little metal dotting, basically. I will be adding the cracks. Making this my own, and that's something I always tell people, make your art your own. Do I have a favorite animatronic? Norman, yes, I do. It is Foxy. I'm sorry, it is Bonnie, because Bonnie went down throwing hands. That's just more for like a humoristic side more than anything. I do like the concept of meeting the bad guy head on and not falling, you know. I always liked in the horror movies where like Freddy Krueger would be like chasing after some kid, but like the kid would go down trying to basically fight off Freddy, not just sitting there running away. Okay. Let's take a nice light yellow. And now I think we will work with the top of the head. I know I said I'd work on the claw, but that's something that can always be finished up real quick. Rather get the top of the head and kind of bring in the visual all home. All right, just a good life. I'll see you in a bit. Thank you so much, Gary Eddie. I really appreciate that. I'm far from the goat, but I do appreciate the comment. I just basically try to help people rediscover their love of art or newly found a love of art, basically, for I have rediscovered my own over the last couple of years. And if I can be here as a little helpful guidance to anybody of any art skill to get better or encouragement, that's what I want to be here for. put out some good value into the world. Minions, thank you so much. You're epic for making such a nice comment. And as people have come in, once again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I am happy to help you on your journey, no matter what it may be. Now, a quick, really good tip, if you don't have color pencils and you only have a few set of markers, I'm going to let this dry for a sec. I'm going to add the other colors, but I'm going to leave this marker here so you can see what I'm about to talk to you about. And I mentioned this in my recent video, and it's a great way to get a good blend on a cheaper markers when you don't have full sets to blend them out. And you can get really good three-dimensional blends this way. But we're going to let this dry for a second before we go ahead and pop all the color in that I want to showcase. Once again, I'm not just throwing in color for the sake of color. I am working off a reference image, and I do try to give it a different tone, a different look to it. But I want it to have a certain feel. I have an image in my head of what I want it to look like, and then I work with colors that I like that are close. And it's more of a damaged look. I'm not trying to keep the lines clean. In fact, being too clean might be a little off-putting. This way, it'll give it more character, more depth, more, in my opinion, it's more realistic because it's gringier and grimier. Okay, so now we're going to go back with this color that I mentioned before. So you can see it's almost flat, right? There's a little extra color here, a little extra color here. But when we go back over a second time and we layer in that same color, no difference, because it's dried, the alcohol is dissipated and it's dried, and we're adding this second layer on top. When we go and add this next layer of the exact same color, it gets a little bit more of value. You can only do this so often before you'll start to see the color separate because you're adding too much alcohol into an area. But you'll get a nice separation of color. So that way when you take, let me see if I can find a really, when you take another set of black markers and layer them across the top, and I'm using one that's really frayed. You can see it's at the end of its rope. It's really damaged, and I like that because especially for these hair textures, when I flick up, it gives these faint little lines that will work and give it just a little quality, a little uniqueness. I don't like just recreating something for the sake of recreating something. If I want to just recreate something for the sake of recreating something as 100%, I'll just take a picture of it. That's just my personal opinion. I always like to make things my own because I don't want to copy and paste what the original artist did. I'd rather just try to somehow make it my version of what they made. Oh, anytime, Gary Eddy. I mean, if you post art, I'm sorry, I missed the comment. If you post art and you want me to take a look at it, and you have any questions about art, or you just, hey, what do you think about this? I have many people, both some subscribers are like 30 subscribers, some of them are a lot of subscribers that will at me and stuff. Um, I have no problem letting you know what I feel as long as you want either an accurate critique or if you're just looking for help. Hey, what do you think about this? I'm happy to give you a critique. If you at me, I will respond. Dream drawings, thank you so much. If I'm not mistaken, weren't you in my Springtrap live? Let me see. Oh no, you were in the other live. That's what. Okay, that's where I remember you from. The live. Well, thank you so much for stopping back. Thank you for coming on back. Oh, hey, Reds, that's so cool. So you're from Panama? Well, then, welcome all the way from Panama. That is a really cool place. I can't, wow, that's like, that is far, far away from where I am. From the northern or the southern side of the canal? You don't have to answer, just curiosity more than anything. Let's go with this. Yeah, I like that nice little saturation. Fries and nuggets, you're back. No worries. I hope you did well in your soccer game. I know Saturdays are a huge sports day. When I was a kid, I did tons and tons of football, hockey, and baseball, depending upon the season. All right, and then what I think we'll do is just add, whoop, we will not drop our color pencils because that's not what we're here to do. We are not here to drop stuff. And then we will take a, this is one of the few times where I will use a white white paint pen. One, because this particular white paint pen is just about seen better days. It's almost on its way out. And because it's almost on its way out, the white will not come out as easily, which gives it a really unique blend to it. It doesn't, it's kind of gray. I can kind of smush it in. And yeah, I don't know. There's something about old art supplies that I really, really love. They're damaged, they're old, and they've got character. Like, there's time built into that. Like, you don't just throw away an old art supply. Like, I don't know. I guess because I'm sentimental sap, but Yeah, I have tons of art supplies that I'm like, I don't want to give away. I love it. Chicken jockey, welcome back. Just a kid life, American football or European football? O'Hara, welcome back. Hi, hi. Just taking a sip of coffee because I love coffee. Go ahead, fries and nuggets. Raz, what's going on? Oh, Bangles, man, I haven't seen you. Wow, Bangles, it's been forever and ever. It kind of just dropped off the face of the planet a little bit. It's been a while. I hope you've been good. Where do you get Posca markers? I can't find them anywhere. You can find them on Posca's website. You can find them on Amazon. They're pretty much, you can even find them in just about any Michaels. Like Michaels is the most popular art supply store. Michaels tends to be a little pricey at times, so you have to like get coupons. But Posca's are really, all right. This is where I hate to say, Poscas are not worth it. Okay, I'm gonna say it. They're not. They're truly not. If you're beginning and learning how to do art, they're not worth it. Learn the medium first, and a good way to do that is with these. And I am not sponsored to say this at all. 100%, I swear. Grabby and Shuttle Art make really good alcohol markers. They come in about the same price. You get twice as much, and they have a brush tip. And the reason why I like brush tips are because you get to add all the details. You saw me use a Shuttle Art. They're a cheap alcohol marker. I mean, a cheap paint marker. Yeah, it's learn to control the medium first. How do I like that? How do I say this? You wouldn't buy the most expensive bat if you're playing baseball before you learn how to swing a bat. You wouldn't buy the most expensive color pencil set before you learn how color pencils work. Similar with Poscas, because Poscas are forgiving and not forgiving. So if you don't learn how to control the medium, then you will wind up wasting money and getting frustrated. You'll see other artists, and you'll be like, why aren't I doing that? Just don't put yourself in that mental rigor. That's just my opinion more than anything. That's just me on my soapbox. Terrible Luna, sorry I didn't say hi. Hannah, thank you so much. Welcome back. You're a cute mouse. Okay, well, that's cool. We can all be what we want. Oh, you do? Good. I'm sorry if that's Japanese or Korean. Let me see if it'll translate. Will it translate for me? Of course. Why wouldn't YouTube have an automatic translator within their live comment feed? I'm so sorry. I can't read that, but if that is a positive message, which I assume it is, thank you so much. Bum, bum. Janine, welcome in. Thank you so much. Let me just pull up my image because there we go. Oh, cool. You've been drawing for 7 years. I've been drawing for probably longer than you've been alive. That's because I'm as old as dirt, all right? Olds. Hey, I'm new to your channel and your art is really cool. Do you maybe have any art tips for me to improve my more realistic style? Okay. Hi, Emily. Welcome. I don't know why. I feel like you've been in this channel. Maybe you're in one of my lives. If not, then welcome, first off. And two, The biggest thing that I can tell anyone who's trying to get better at art, specifically realism, is study study what you want to learn. So if you're learning portraits, for instance, right? We got my drawing pad. Here we are. So if you're this has been like the scrap paper for things we've been working on in previous streams. So like let's just say, and I'll use this like 10-year-old eraser. Just erase out a quick section. Let's just say you want to learn how to do portraits, right? You're going to want to learn to do the Loomis method. Okay. Proco has a immensely popular tutorial on the Loomis method. It will help you out. He can do this a lot quicker. I'm going to show you the basics of what it is as I sharpen my pencil. And the Loomis method is really good at developing all the major plot points on the human head and getting them down faster on a page. So basically you start off with a circle. Then you're going to start off with a bisecting line. This will determine where the nose is. You're going to start off with a cross-sectional line. Then you're going to start off with another section. This is going to be the side plane of the head, typically where your ear is. You don't actually draw in the ear, though. For then, you're going to draw another line here in equal parts, and another line here in equal parts, and another line here in equal parts. You're going to come down. You're going to wrap this around, and then this is going to come up. Your eye sits here. Your other eye sits here. Your nose lands here. Your mouth lands here. Your hairline lands here. I did that in about 10 seconds. The Proco tutorial will break it down in about 20 minutes, really showcasing all that you need to know. Thank you so much, Nina. Really appreciate it. Can you draw Glamrock Bonnie? Raz, I am going to put up a poll a little bit later, probably around 4 o'clock after I go and watch Choxy Art's collaboration that I did with him. I want to see what he came up with because I'm really excited about that. And whatchamacallit? Oh, man, I lost track. So yes, I will put up a poll because people want to see Withered Bonnie and you want to see Glamrock Bonnie, but I'll put up a whole bunch of different FNAF characters and we'll see what the next live stream will bring us. I pretty much leave it up to you to vote. I keep it very community friendly. I don't just do things because I want them to be a certain way. I do things because I want people to enjoy the stream. Draw the nether. I'd have to look that up because for some reason I am drawing a blank there, Bangles. I'll just call you Bangles because I remember you as. Because if I remember Chicken Jockey, I might not remember that. I've been. Hey, Wolfie Creations. Wolfie Creations, were you? Let me check. Pretty sure. No, that's your first time in the community. Well, welcome to the community. If you have any, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm thinking of Luna the wolf. But if you have any questions or any suggestions, anything at all that you'd like to talk about, feel free. Anytime, Emily. Another thing, if you're looking for like full-bodied stuff, if you're like, we'll just do another quick thing. So if you're having problems like doing the full body, there's what's called the action line. All right, and we'll just subset it here, action line. So like, let's just say you're trying to draw a person, right? You're going to start with the head, but then like this will determine everything. This one line, if it's straight, well, that's boring. Like, nobody wants just a boring standing up person. Hi, I wave. Like, no, it's nothing, right? So what we want to do is action line, head, maybe a slope to the back. So now they got like a twisting torso, you know, and now we can then develop the character Okay, we're gonna make him a superhero. So they got a big barreled chest, and he's torquing back for a punch. So the arm's gonna be hidden here, but it's coming out, and then this one is coming up low. So now we have, the hips are coming out. We can draw the legs, and now we can determine that by drawing this action line that usually goes down to the leg, we can draw it even further. Like they're torque. You can now develop your character, and you can see it. It's like, okay, that's a character in motion. You can get your motions down. Anything, boss. Welcome. How are you? It would be cool if Chalksy joins the stream. He is on the West Coast. He's also probably prepping for the video because his video will come out in 2 hours. This stream will end in about an hour and a half. My goal is to probably get most of it done and finish the rest off tomorrow afternoon. But I want to finish it if I can by today. What's going on, Random? Great to see you back. Okay, Wolfies, that's probably what. And if I'm not mistaken, Wolfies, it was during the Has Been Hotel Hell of a Boss videos that I saw you a lot, if I'm not mistaken. Coloring Master, welcome in. How are you? All right, now let's start putting the nose to the grindstone and get these details in. I am not using a lot of the traditional colors that are in. I'm making Monty my own. If that, just to answer some questions in case they happen to come up. No problem, Random. I appreciate you swinging by anytime. If no one knows, Random is a very talented young artist in her own right, but she is probably my most dedicated follower who did leave YouTube for a bit, but is back pretty much. And she is a talented young jeweler. She likes to make little jewelry on her own right. So if you like that stuff, why don't you pop in and give her a follow. She hasn't posted anything in a while, but I keep encouraging her to do so. Thank you so much, Coloring. See, now from a coloring master, I appreciate the fact that the coloring master is telling me it's nice coloring. So by the fact is, does that make me a master? All kidding aside, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I am a bit of a jokester. I love to play pranks on people. I love to kid. So feel free. I'm okay as long as it's not like demeaning, hurtful, or anything like that. I love to have jokes. It makes the pace of the day go by. I love to play pranks on people at work too. I bet you get mad when you lay your hand on the peninsula of that paper and starts to get smothered everywhere. No, not really. I mean, I usually get like a big, nice dark streak on the back of my hands, or it smudges here. It's okay. When you've done it like 20,000 million times in your life, you just be like, all right, well, whatever. I've done that already. It's gonna happen again. Yeah. I used to when I was like a kid. I guess because I was like, oh no, how am I gonna fix it? But yeah, you just it's happened so often. I just like water off a duck's back at this point. Where is my paint pen? I'll use this one. Do we use this one? Let's take a peek. Yeah, it works. All right. We'll dot in some little tonal stuff. Normally, this is where a little bit of lightness is hitting, but I don't want to make it just a big lime green swatch. So what I'm doing is to layer in some textures and to give Monty a little bit more disheveled look. I'm layering in only slightly the color variance in. I think it gives a really nice textured effect instead of just making it a more painterly smooth effect. But that's me. You do you, but this is how I like to do it. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Coloring Master. I really appreciate that. Go ahead, Random. Post away. And like I always say, if you want me to, you can always at me. I'm always here for the encouragement. I feel like in the art community, a lot of people don't encourage each other, or they look at something and they're like, "Oh, I could do that." Oh, well, that's fine. Go ahead and do it. I'm just, I'm just here, just vibing, creating my thing. Alrighty, let's get this. Raspberry, how long have I been live for? About an hour right now. I'm gonna go for about another hour, hour and a half. Radhika, hello, how are you? Do you use Posca markers with Artistic Lemon? Do I use Posca markers with colored pencils? I don't, because Posca markers lay very thickly. I usually will use any, like I have these, I have Grabby, but any paint pens that I use, I generally use them at the very end for pops of color, texture details. I don't like using them in the beginning because it's very hard to then blend over the top. Do I play Roblox? No, I do not. Sorry. Also, mixed media composition. I usually do something similar with this, but with alcohol markers and Prismacolors. I did use alcohol markers on this, and I did use Prismacolors. Ghibli what? You can always at me with your work. I'd love to see what you create. If you create something similar, that is pretty awesome. And I would love, love, love to see what any young artist or any artist for that matter, regardless if you're super talented or super new, I don't care if it looks like a dang stick figure. If you have the courage to put your stuff out there and say, hey, what do you think? I will give you an honest critique. And I will tell you maybe what you can work on too. But yes, I love to encourage all artists of all ages and all skill levels to keep at it because a lot of times people just don't, especially when they're really talented. Sweet, enjoy your party. I do play video games though, Ruth. I do play video games and I do play a lot. I am an RPG, JRPG fan. I'm not really much of a shooter game. I love the Fallout series, love the Shimigami Tensei series. You know, those are my two big growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s. Those were my jams. And I still enjoy the heck out of them to this day. Persona 4, though somewhat disliked by more modern styles, is one of my favorite games of all time, and Fallout New Vegas is probably one of, if not my favorite game. And this is what I mean by an old marker. It picked up all this like subtle red, and now I can just dot that in, and it gives a nice little just warm white back into all this, which is really kind of cool. I like the way it actually looks. I'm not like, oh no, it got ruined. No, I'm like, oh wow, gave it so much coolness. Gave it its own little mixture of color. Do I like Roblox? Don't really have a affinity for it one way or another. Oh, thank you so much, Love Life. I really appreciate that. Oh, Raz, no, I did this over the course of 2 hours. I just worked about an hour yesterday. I was getting a massive headache from a long day and an aggravating day at work yesterday, so I cut the stream short for only about an hour, sadly. So this is about 2 hours of worth of work in total. Getting used to like this concept of instead of just plugging away and drawing to actually having to look and answer questions, and all of a sudden like, oh, everything's scrolled. Oh, coloring master, that would be really nice of you. You don't have to, but thank you so much for stopping by, random. But coloring master, you don't have to, but that it's always appreciated. But You do what you feel. I do not tell anyone to uh, donate anything. It's entirely up to you. I'm not one of these people like, yo, let's get this hype train up. That's never going to be me. I don't care whatever level of stream my stream becomes. People being in here and saying hi and being in the community, that's enough treasure for me. This is all about building community and answering questions. Same, encourage the young artists of generation. I draw a lot of comic style illustrations. After this stream, I will try to remember your name, Ghibli, but I will definitely check out your channel. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I just love it. I mean, Boone's backstory to me, and like, I remember I did when I'm waiting for Fallout Season 2 in the worst way come out because I was just like, "Ugh, you gave us New Vegas, damn it!" But yeah, I'm waiting like so much for New Vegas in the show. That's like, oh, can't wait. Like I want to see the Gamoras if they're still there, and I want them to get it in the worst way. I'm like, I was really bummed because it would have been awesome to see Matthew Perry play like an old Benny in season 2. That would have been just chef's kiss. Hey, imagine it. Oh, let me start off from the top. Melissa, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Imaginary Kids, what inspired you to start drawing? When I was a kid, I was just always loving comic book characters and superheroes. So that's kind of where I started. And then it kind of just grew as I learned more about different art mediums and different art styles. But what got me back into art after a very, very long hiatus from art was my niece. She wanted to learn how to draw, and I had not drawn anything in years. And I've been on YouTube since for about 2 years after that, basically just sharing my appreciation and love for art because she helped me so much get back into that love of art. So I can probably thank my niece for a lot of this. Thank you so much, Lexi. I really appreciate that. And I see some new faces into the comments. If you have any questions or anything that you'd like to ask about art, feel free to ask. I am always here to try to help anybody. Cutie Wolf, hello, how are you? Yes, Ghibli Watt. Yes, I saw the leaks. I don't know how much of like when they say leaks they are, but I saw the photos of the Lucky 38 on social media, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna look so damn good. I'm like, I can't wait. And if anyone doesn't know, we are talking about the Fallout TV show, but more specifically, the fact that New Vegas will be in season 2. And if you haven't seen season 1, well, then I'm sorry. And it's only been a year ago, so it's not my problem. Oh, cool. Just a Kid Life. I hope you like it. Devon, hello. How are you? Thank you, Imaginary Kids. Draw what you love, no matter what it is, Imaginary Kids. So if you just draw, I tell people this, and I know I say it like a broken record. If you draw what you love, no matter what it is, whether it's superheroes or anime or whatever. I was drawing anime before I even knew it was anime. I just thought it was a cartoon. But, like I loved Ninja Turtles, so I drew tons of Ninja Turtles. If you draw what you love, You will get better at art, and you will not get burnt out like me. That is from someone who suffered from massive art burnout and quit. So, yeah. Take it from someone who's been down the path of just, ugh, I don't want to do this anymore. Draw what you love and you'll be the happiest artist ever. Look at Bob Ross. All he did was love painting scenery, and he was the happiest artist you'll ever see. Hey, Dexter, welcome back. It's good to see you in the premiere today. Oh, thank you so much, Coloring Master. I really appreciate that. You didn't have to, but thank you so much. That's okay, Devon. Like, everyone has to start somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, don't don't get discouraged. It's like, oh, there's so many people. And once again, thank you so much, Coloring Master. That's really, really nice of you. Um, like everyone's going to be at a different part in their journey. You think like LeBron James is as talent, and I always use him because he's kind of like the modern goat, right? Like as talented as he is, and he is incredibly talented. He also put in a ton of work to get how great he is. Okay, like it's like you are born with it, yes, to an extent. But even like players who aren't necessarily born with it, like you have to put in work. You can't just be like, I'm gonna pick up a pencil, I'm gonna be the next Van Gogh. It doesn't happen. Not even close. So if you want to get better, just it depends upon what you want to get better at. Have you ever had art block? I've had art block 100 times. I've had art block more times than I care to imagine. That's why I am very blessed with having the YouTube community because every time I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to draw. This is just going to look awful. I have the YouTube community to kind of tell me, hey, how about you try this? Around this time last year, I was kind of having a block. I didn't know what to do, didn't know what to draw. And then people were telling me about this show Has Been Hotel, and I've never even heard of it that it was coming out. And I looked and I saw it on Amazon. I'm like, watched the whole season in one day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna start drawing these characters, and that helped bump my channel a lot last year. Then it fell into Hell of a Boss, and people loved Hell of a Boss, and I really like Hell of a Boss. Probably better than I like Has Been Hotel, but that's just me. Art Master, welcome. Thank you so much. Yes, Dexter, I actually posted a comment yesterday. I saw your post. I saw that you added me, and I did comment that I like the overall shape and design, and that I would work on adding some compositional details to the piece. You know, the Joker that laughs, or the Batman that the Batman that laughs that you did. It had a really good, nice line work to it, but it's like, how much detail do you want to put in, or is it just a sketch and you're happy with the sketch? If it's just a sketch, well, then it's a nice sketch. If you're looking for more details, then you're gonna start having to add some details, but you have a good base to work off of. Thank you so much, Art Master. If I didn't say so before, thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to me. I enjoy when people subscribe. That means they like the content, and if you like the content, then I am happy. Because it means I have given you something of value. Oh, okay, that's cool, Artistic Lemon. So you've been drawing for a while then? What's your favorite medium? Hey, Bob, welcome in. Braden, thank you so much. That's really awesome of you to say. You should check out my new art video. Sure, if you at me, Tristan, I will try to take a peek. I will definitely peek at it, but if you don't, then it might not come across my FYP. That's why I usually tell people to at me because my FYP is all over the place, depending upon the time of night. I could be listening to ASMR to try to sleep, or gaming and documentaries while when I'm drawing my regular YouTube comments, I'll usually have like video game documentaries. There's a really cool channel I love called Summoning Salt, and they have a channel that's just dedicated to um, like speed run history, and I really like that. Their stuff's fun because I'm like, oh, that's the stuff that I did when I was a kid. Nicholas Moran, what is going on? If you don't know who Nicholas is, he is an incredibly talented artist. The dude is just great. I would definitely suggest, and I don't know how to do the shout out thing here on because I'm new to this whole stream thing, but he is an incredibly talented artist, and you should definitely give his channel a like and a follow, or a subscribe rather. He does incredible illustrative artwork, similar to the one that I'm doing with Choxy later today. Ah, watercolor. Watercolor's so nice. Long Legosaurus, hello, how are you? Sorry I didn't see you. Is this stream going to end soon? Gary Yeti. No, I got like another hour and a half before the video will end. Then I'm going to roughly see because Choxy and I have done a collaboration and his video is going to be out and I want to kind of sit back, relax, have another cup of coffee and enjoy that video and then work on other art content. So I'm hoping to get like if I can get in the next hour this section done, and then tomorrow we'll finish the bottom half. Hey, I just just a kid life. I had cereal. I have cereal all the time. Color Master, yes, thank you so much. I do appreciate the gift. It was really nice of you. Okay, Tristan, you did at me. Then I've been live and I probably haven't seen it yet, but I will check my mentions and I will. Thank you so much, Nicholas. Yeah, I mean, actually, I saw you a couple of your lives a while back, and I'm like, you know what? It's a great way to connect with the community, and I have to start doing it. So, yeah, when I saw you popping in and doing some lives, I was like, let me give that a try. And it's just sometimes people have art questions, and I'm much more of a seer. Like, if you tell me, I can see it, but if you just write it down, sometimes it doesn't make as much sense to me. So I figured, let me go on live, and I can help people that way. They can see it, and I can show them stuff rather than just work on the Loomis method. Well, that doesn't help if you don't know what the Loomis method is. And because we added all that nice black undertone, when we take something like this pale gray, it really gives it a nice quality. I know I use that word a lot, but just for redundancy's sake. But when we start to add other colors and blacks, it becomes a lot easier to blend it all out. Yeah, it really is a great way to connect. Chicken jockey. Amy, thank you so much. It would be nice if everyone likes the video, but hey, just coming in here and commenting and enjoying the stream, that's half the battle right there. And now with that nice blue down, when I start to add more of these black textures in, You still see the blue. The ink doesn't dissolve it completely, but it kind of just adds another layer of textures and hues. So it's not just blacks and blues. Now you're adding some blues, some purples, some grays, and all these nice little things that add all these extra textures and details. That's all it is. That's the key to any kind of semi-realistic slash realistic artwork or just artwork in general. It's just building up your layers of textures to get it to the desired medium that you want. So my version, Nick, of the collab is out now. And so basically we did Shadow and Sonic. I did Shadow and he's going to do Sonic. I did it with four different mediums. I have no idea what he's going to do. I think when we were bouncing back emails, he said four different styles, which I think would work good because that's like his niche and that's like what his strong suit is. So, and I didn't want to just do like we both did glitch, we both did because then it just looks like it doesn't have anything different. Like, so if I did four different mediums, then his four different styles gives it a nice juxtaposition. So, and his is coming out at like 3:10 if you're I'm on Eastern Coast in the United States. So his is going to be 3:10 Eastern Coast time if that helps. Mudkip is my favorite. Yeah, I did a Mudkip one way back in the day. But like that was when I was just doing like quick sketches of Pokemon. I'm thinking I might add more Pokemon just into my four different styles because I find that people are intrinsic to the Pokemon of their choice. Like, for instance, people who love Gengar, you know why they love Gengar. People who love Mudkip, people like me, Squirtle. Squirtle's my guy. Like my wife, she loves Bulbasaur. She has an gigantic plushie of Bulbasaur. It's like when she wants to sleep at night, cuddle Bulbasaur. Cool. Thank you so much, Nick, for stopping by. It's really awesome. Hey, speaking of Mudkip, what's going on? I found that like because I don't really know Mudkip as well. Like I know obviously the Pokemon itself. I didn't know that like Mudkip had such a strong connection with fan bases. I also like Cubone because there is that shrouded mystery, and it just seems like such a sad Pokemon. And I like the fan theory of Cubone, even though it's not canon. I do like the fan theory probably better than his regular because it's a sadder one. That's just me. And thank you to everyone to just like popping in, saying hi. It just, I don't know. I love the connection that it get like streaming gets. I love the diversity of people that just come in from all different parts or just skill levels, etc. You know, don't be afraid to come in and say hi. Do Godzilla? I have done a Godzilla. I did a Godzilla for my with my niece actually. We did a Godzilla drawing challenge, and that was a heck of a lot of fun. Is this? Yes, okay, it is over there. Yeah, so I have done Godzilla. That was a blast. A lot of textures, a lot of specific detailing, which for me can get a little monotonous, but it was a good teaching moment for her. Another Bulbasaur fan, Heather. Yeah. Joltik. I think I remember what Joltik looks like. I don't know what the other one is. I'd have to look up that one. But yeah, I at one point I have. Okay, so I will show this. This was a piece where all of my fans, all of you guys, requested many moons ago, if I can find it, requested Pokemon, and I did it all on one sheet. So let's just start here. We'll work it across. And this was like the Pokemon's by everyone's suggestion, and I filled up a page. So, and that was a lot of fun. I'm thinking if since there's a lot of Pokemon, I almost dropped my coffee, and that would be heartbreaking. If that's something that you guys are interested in, I would definitely consider doing that again, like filling up one massive page with all of your Pokemon recommendations. So if that's something that does strike your core, because everyone has an intrinsic favorite Pokemon, let me know. I would be definitely down to do that again. Because that's a request that I like. I did name art requests where I did like graffiti name art, and that was just nah. Very toxic, actually. Or at least for me. Cool, thank you so much, Gary. Have you heard of Team Fortress 2 yet? Is it a. I am an early Pokemon fan. I am not a new Pokemon fan. So if you mean like old school stuff, then no, I'm an old school Pokemon fan. I'm not a new school Pokemon fan. So, oh, from Sword and Shield. Yeah, no, I know of the game. I haven't actually played it yet. Just a Kid Life. Yeah, I am. I'm definitely an anime nerd myself. I would say I don't watch just shonen too. Like I watch a lot of other anime that's not considered quote unquote shonen. But I don't begrudge people who just watch shonen anime. I get into a huge argument with people like, is anime already with Marty? What's going on? I'm so happy to see you. You know, Artie, I have to admit, you are the reason, and everyone do check out Marty's channel. He is an amazing artist. He does really cool illustrative FNAF artwork, so I would highly recommend you go check him out. But when I saw some of his artwork, I'm like, you know, I haven't done FNAF in a really long time. Like, let me just draw a couple. So, and then I put it out there, and people are like, yeah, we would love to see more FNAF artwork. So I'm like, all right. So thank you, Artie, because yeah, you kind of brought the FNAF live streams. You're like the early Genesis, if you will. Diglett. Oh yeah, people love Diglett. I mean, it's just like a he's just a little earth and like little mole creature. It's kind of cool. Yeah, Diglett. I don't know. There's just like a cuteness, and I hate to use the word because it makes it seem like oh, it's too cute. But no, there's just an adorable, probably adorable. Adorable is a good word. There's an adorable nature to Diglett. that I just can't explain. And that is okay, because he's Diglett. Yes, yes. The addiction is strong with the art world when it comes to FNAF. Yeah, I think it's because they have a really unique look. Like they're simple, they might seem simply robotic, but then they have all these like really cool cracks, and I like the ruined looks. I like the destroyed looks because it's not crisp. It's not I like things that have like a grungy quality, if that makes sense. And like when you see Shattered Monty, it looks a lot better. Like Monty's cool. I've done Monty, but it's clean. You know, it's neat. It's pretty. Sometimes that's not me. I like things that look weathered and aged. They have a certain character, like a life story attached to it. Oop. And I forgot to do this in brown first to add the color. Oh well, that's okay. We can fix that in 2 seconds. Not Luke. I'm sorry. Hello. Izzy. Hello. Sorry I didn't see you there. Just a Kid Life. Do I watch Invincible? I have watched all of Invincible and I've done tons of Invincible artwork. Invincible is a really, really well written show. It's not just about the action, the concepts that are in the show about what is wholly good and what is wholly wrong are just concepts that I love in writing. So, yeah, it is a well written show. Now we can go back. Well, thank you so much, Coloring Master. I do appreciate it. And thank you so much for that gift. It was really, really generous of you. I appreciate it. I never ask for a gift, but you didn't have to, and so thank you so much for doing so. And what I'm doing is basically adding in lots of cracks and different textures by using very faint, like we did over here and up here. A little goes a long way. You don't have to do it, but I like to add just these simple, because it's not just going to fracture in a straight line, right? Go back into our teaching moment, right? If you look at something that's broken, right, and if there's like where the major crack is, there's going to be these faint little spider web like whisper lines that come out. Not a lot, but enough. Oh, thank you so much, Nicholas. Yeah, do it. It was a fun labor of love. Wish we probably would have been able to get it out closer to the movie's release, but it is what it is, and I still love the overall concept. And like I said, I can't wait to see what Choxy comes up with. Fur, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I haven't seen much of more recent FNAF. Oh, like the FNAF games artistic? Yeah, I've only seen them by factor of like search histories. People, when I was looking up like concepts of things to draw, hey, can you draw this character, etc. Josie, thank you so much. I do love the yeah, I do like the I'm more of an old school person in general, so like I do love the way older games look. I love the way older movies look. Because you didn't have all the tricks, right? Like there was no like we'll fix it in the editing room. That was just not happening back in the day. Like you had to either fix it live or figure out a miniature, or you had to it wasn't just like you had to be a good puppeteer. You had to have other skills. It wasn't just one skill. So like for instance, if you ever one of my favorite movies, The Predator. Uh Thank you so much, Coloring Master, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Um, so like if like The Predator, one of my favorite movies, right? Like you had to find someone that was like almost damn near 7 feet tall, but you also had to make a really good suit. Nowadays, they wouldn't spend the money on making a suit. They would just put a smaller guy and then just CG half of it to death, and it's just it loses some of like the life, the character, you know. And I feel like it just CG. It's like CG it, and we just CG everything to death now, and that's why a lot of people just don't watch movies like they used to because it's like all I'm watching is just a green screen and a whole bunch of effects. Perfect example. I love the Lord of the Rings movies. They went two places on set. They filmed things live. They added things minimally where they needed to because they just couldn't do it. But it gives it a certain quality in life when and a certain atmosphere when it's filmed live and then done live. Now you might be saying this blue is a little too strong or it's not prevalent, but we're going to go back over it with a lot of whites and a lot of grays. So by the time that it's done, it'll look absolutely fine. Sometimes I like working backwards, sometimes I like working traditional. It all depends upon how I feel. It also helps me change it up so that way I'm not just doing the same old, same old. Hey, random, welcome back. Haven't gotten much further, but that's just because that's the nature of lives at times. Which section do I want to take next? Actually, let me take my black marker. We'll start sculpting away. Sorry, I just have to zoom in on the teeth so I get there just the right for all of the highlights and subtle black grays. This is where it's like, if it's a video game, it's like you gotta lock in. So, what's my favorite movie? It all depends upon how I'm feeling in the moment. Um, I am a huge fan of Hayao Miyazaki's work. He is a incredibly famous anime uh, director, writer, and just if you don't know Hayao Miyazaki's work and you're an anime fan, you have to watch. Like they're just cinematic masterpieces, composing, etc. They do things that like anime shouldn't. You'd be like, well, anime shouldn't be like that, but it is, and that's what makes his work amazing. So if I ever want to feel like I want to watch something that's very enriching, I'll watch that. As per other movies, I mean, like, I love horror movies, but I like old school horror. I feel like a lot of new schools, just how much stuff can we throw at you as a jump scare? And that's not really horror. Horror is built on the concept that you do not want to see what's going to happen next, and you're afraid to do so. And that's why, like, a lot of the new school horror is just like, you know, you're gonna turn and you're gonna see something creepy, and it's just gonna go bah. And like that's to me not horror. That's scary, but that's not horror. Horror is the intrinsic feeling that you feel when you see the hallway dark at the end of the night and you don't want to walk down there because you feel something might be there, even though there is nothing there. It's that built-in horror, that primal fear. That is the true, in my opinion, the true essence of horror. And a lot of the old school movies did that a lot better. Once again, because they didn't have all the gimmicks, they had to build an atmosphere, which is something I wish a lot of new movie directors would do, is learn how to build an atmosphere in your movies. It can even be like that in a comedy. Perfect example, Dumb and Dumber. I know it sounds silly, but Dumb and Dumber is such a great movie because it builds the characters very, very well. Simply even, and you root or cheer against, depending upon where you are in the movie, for characters at certain times. Thank you, Random. I appreciate that. What do you do with your art once you're done? Do you put it in storage? Do you like never look at it again or anything else like that? Yeah, a lot of times it kind of just gets stuck in sometimes it just gets stuck in my books, and not to say that I don't look at them, but I do know where books they are, so and I often give a lot of pieces away. That's probably something I'm going to be doing here on my streams or going forward. Like, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to give away X piece and I will have it off to the side, and I'll do it to some one random person that's commenting on a video. I'm thinking about doing that just because one, it helps build community, and two, it gives something intrinsic back. So that way it's like, hey, I don't have to do anything as long as I just watch the video and comment. I don't have to pay anything and I'm getting something of value, like a really cool piece of artwork. So that's something I'm thinking about doing. I just have to work out all the uh, logistics of it because you have to be of age, etc. You need a you need an address, and some people don't have that stuff on their YouTubes. So there are some logistics that just have to be ironed out, and I'd have to then showcase how that would be done. But yeah, I am planning on giving a ton of my artwork away. I not to say it has no meaning to me, but it should be appreciated by people who would love to have it. Which is why I am really happy that Choxy is giving away the art piece that we're collaborating on. He didn't have to. I said you can have it, but if you want to give it away, I said you're more than welcome to give it away. Keep that there so I don't forget it. Ah, here we are. Nightstar, welcome in. Doodle Decks, thank you so much. Sorry, I did see it and I just forgot to answer. I do apologize. Thank you so much, Just a Kid Life. If you have any questions or anything at all you'd like to ask, feel free. I am more than happy to help you on your artistic journey. And this is the tough part of the stream because it's just a lot of sameness, a lot of just grays. I don't like working too much in grays. I like adding color. I like things that are got pop of color to it. When it's just a lot of like gray, for me, that's when the boredom can hit really quick and I have to fight that off. So it's a good thing that y'all are here on the live, so that way I can keep going and have a good mental state of self while doing so. Otherwise, I just get bored and I wind up just quitting and going to a different piece. And then I'll come back later when I feel better sense. Pop in a nice yellow. I'm gonna have to go, but I'll watch other video and live in the future. I enjoy your art. Thank you so much. Anytime, Emily, I am here and happy to help any artist at any point in their journey. Or sometimes if you just need a little boost, you know, sometimes that's all we need in life is a little boost. Like, hey, I don't know what to do. Can you help me with fill in the blank? And that is, I'm happy to help you with whatever your artistic needs are. Okay. Now I'm feeling a lot better. We got some color in there. Change up the pace so that way I'm not as bored. But I got y'all riding shotgun, so you will be my ride or dies today. And we got about another half an hour, 45 minutes on this piece. Yeah, well, yeah, that is the problem, Random. When you have cats, see, mine just want to sit next to me. But when you have a cat lay on you, it's the universal principle that you can't get up because you will have betrayed them. So, I have a question. How do you blend color pencils to... Okay, so Just a Kid Life. Are you talking about like two similar colors or two completely different colors? Because I can show you both. Let me know, and I will be happy to tell you. So I want to go with this green. Yeah, no, my cat's not really that clingy. They want to be next to me. They don't want to be on me. Because they want to just be next to me when food comes. Other than that, then they're my little couch potato buddy when I play video games. They'll plop right next to me, but they won't plop on me. Dang you, pencil. This pencil's been the bane of my existence this last two streams. It's just been cracking every single second that it gets, but I'm just going to use something similar and say la vie if it doesn't be 100% what I want it to be. Awesome, artistic. That's cool. So yeah, Just a Kid Life. Which do you want? Do you need like two colors, or to blend, or do you need two separate colors? Like, are you talking about like blue and red make purple, or are you talking like dark purple, light purple to get a smoother blend? Let me know. I can show you both, or if you have one specific. That's funny. Yeah, the cats tend to do that. I'm playing. Oh, that's so cool, Grizzly. Grizzly, if I'm not mistaken, weren't you here the last stream? If you were, because I feel like that name sounds familiar. So if you are, welcome on back. When in doubt, grab the alcohol marker and let it do the magic. Let me do what it wants to do best, which is all the good coloring. So, Grizzly, since you've been playing Security Breach, and since I'm too lazy to look up the lore because I forgot, how does Monty become shattered? Or if anyone in the chat knows, please let me know. How does Monty become shattered? Hello, Coloring Master. Welcome back. Oh, just two different colors? Okay, so like we'll go back. Perfect example. We'll use what you want to also do. This helps. If you want to get two colors, right? Like they're both dark. You can't have a hot pink and a dark purple. It'll become a lot harder. So go down here. How to blend colors. Now, what's going to work with these a lot easier, these are Prismacolor Premier, so they're higher quality, right? They're going to be a lot easier to blend. So what you want to do is, this is basically like swatching. So we now know how it looks when it lays down. And we use the same pressure all the way across, right? Then, this is just to show you how the blending works. Once again, same pressure. Okay, we know how it's going to swatch. We go from here, and we go all the way across. I went a little too fast. And we're not pressing hard. This isn't about pressing hard at all. So then we go back over with the red. Through over. Then back to the purple. And it's not up and down. It's more of a circular motion. Because if you go here, what's going to happen is this part and this part are going to get exponentially more darker. If you go in a circular motion, there's less of that. So that's like another good tip. Whenever you're blending, do not go up and down. Go more of a circular motion. That's how you get those nice blends. And then for the last blend, that's when you can press harder because you've kind of established where the color is. And I'm doing this quick. Normally, when you do large sections, you don't do it as quickly. And you keep going back and forth until you get the desired blend that you want to get. So if you want more of a purple, so we'll do it like this. You want more of a purple, you can start darker and then go lighter. And then you can just then go really dark with your red into that purple. And then go back over it if you want more of a purple look. If you want more of a red look, you're going to add a ton of red down, and you're going to really press hard where your darkest red is. Then you're going to just slowly work it out in circles. This is where hand cramps will come in. This is why I don't like using color pencils as much, just because you will feel it. But with anything that's your darkest color, so in this case the purple, we're not going to press as hard. We're going to blend it softly because it will overpower the red. Even if I went like, I'll just show you. It will overpower that red. So you have to know which one is the stronger value. And in this case, it's the purple. So we want to work gently over the top in small bundled circular motions and know where. So that's like 3 different styles. Darker, lighter, medium transitional blend. But, and then you have to obviously know how the 3-dimensional objects act in space. Oh, okay. That makes sense, Grizzly. I think I saw that then somewhere. I'm sorry. Uh, Dexter, hey, what's going on? Welcome back again. Monty fell off a tower and hit his. Ah, okay. Yesterday I promised you I hear music play. Yesterday I promise you and I are here music that plays when survive the night coming from here. I don't understand the reference artistic. I'm sorry. My next year's brand was probably going to be tomorrow afternoon after I get off of work. So probably around like 4 o'clock. We're gonna finish off the rest of Monty. So like if you had orange and yellow, okay, yeah. Color wheel. I can't pull it up right now, but because I have the color wheel command memory. So when we do like Roy, look at the Roy G. Biv, right? You're gonna look at perfect example, yellow. If you take yellow and purple, they will cancel each other out, and then you're gonna get gray. You see, that's like really gray. So you want colors like yellow and orange, orange and red, red and blue, blue and green, green and yellow. If you do colors that are opposite each other on the traditional, this is not the cyan magenta. If you do colors that are like another perfect example, red and green will make, let me see if I can find that nice ruby red. You take red and green, you're going to get a muddy brown. So if you never have a nice brown, it makes a beautiful, rich brown. So it's really just learning how colors interact and colors play with each other, especially as it goes with each individual medium. So every medium, it's a little bit different. When you're painting, it has like a buttery smoothness. Alcohol markers have a very faint, like watercolor wispiness to them. If you're working in paint pens, it's very bold and vibrant. You almost have to layer on top of each other because they'll compete. So it's not just like, how do I do it? It's more like, how does it work with each individual medium? And how do I get the most value from each individual medium? And then when you've mastered that, then how does alcohol markers work with color pencils? And how do color pencils then work with paint pens, etc., etc.? That's how you can really get to a good level of realism or just an artistic fun flair. These questions are really awesome and thought provoking, so I hope y'all are liking the content because it keeps it a heck of a lot of fun for me to continue to do these when it's not just the same question, but also just different vibing, you know? People wanting to learn different things. See, like this is a very muted green. It's very soft, lots of yellows in it. So when it interplays with all these nice bold greens and the nice shadows, I can give it like all these nice little textured effects. And since it was a lot of this primary green here, it brings the piece together and makes it cohesive. That's the other thing too. You want to make sure that each part doesn't look like a floating island unto itself. They have to look like they have interconnection. They have to look like they're part of the same piece. Otherwise, it's going to look funky. It's going to look disjointed. It's going to look off. Caden, welcome back. How are you? Nice to see familiar faces. As the one thing that I really love about YouTube in general is I look up and I will see in the comments section of videos and I'm like, oh, they're back. Oh, that person's back. Oh, cool. It it's refreshing, but also it's just I love the concept of people coming together for a similar purpose because they either enjoy something like, hey, I'm a fan of anime, I'm a fan of video games. Like I always loved when I was a kid growing up, you'd go to the comic book store or you'd go to a video game store and you'd talk with people who like, yeah, I like that game too. Oh yeah, you like this? We'll try out this. Like I love the Metal Gear. Me, one of my favorite games is Metal Gear Solid. I loved that series and talking with people about that series and the characters and everything else. Like that was just something that was one of my favorite things because it has such a lore rich heavy. And YouTube has provided a lot of similarities. It's like people coming together talking. Hey, have you drawn this character? Hey, have you seen this show? It's a lot of that same community that just can't be replicated, in my opinion. Oh no, not the well. Oh, that's right, because it comes with a DLC, right, Grizzly? Can you? Can I? Can I what? Coloring master. It seems like uh, Deku next, please. Okay, well, here's a little fun time. We're going to do showing art. Since people wanted to see some of my art, let me see if I can find the Deku that I drew. Uh, nope, not that one. I say that I remember, and then I don't. So, here we are. So this was a Deku that I drew as part of a tutorial on my channel, how to draw a Deku. Which this is what I mean by I say people I'm not to say the best tutorial person, but we'll just go through the My Hero Academia art real quick. Sui, well that's Seven Deadly Sins. Red Riot, Ochako, Bakugo, couldn't think of the name. That's Sung Jin Woo. Where is Deku? Deku. Well, unless Deku was before that. Was Deku before that? No. No. Deku is in here. Where is Deku? Is Deku not in here and I'm just being a goof? I guess Deku's not in here. Okay. Well, we'll find Deku in a second. And yeah, I have drawn Deku and now I can't find it. And of course, it's going to drive me nuts. Here we are. Yeah, this was a how to draw tutorial for, and that was a drawing that I did of Deku. And yeah, I love this piece a lot, mainly because I just love My Hero Academia. I thought it was a really fun show. Can you end comment? Coloring Master, I'm sorry. Can you phrase the whole thing? Because I'm sorry, I just don't know what you mean. Cool, Connie. That's awesome. So many people do. I like how people just post things like that, like, oh my God, ha, 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 ha. It does nothing, adds no value to me. I know where you live. Cool, thanks, 12-year-old. Just like a silly comment. It has, like, just whatever. You mean you want me to draw your PFP? Is that what you're asking for, Coloring Master? Hey, Billy Bob. Welcome on in. If anyone has any questions about anything art related, or if you just want to talk movies, music, anime, whatever, I am happy to oblige. We just keep it family friendly. That's all that I wish to ask. If you don't get that, I am not worried about making money. I have made plenty of money in my life. So, yeah, I'm grateful for anything that happens, but do not expect anything. I am just a person of gratitude. Probably the best way to put it. I want nothing because I want nothing. I just try to put out the good vibes. I feel like people who just solely try to do things like create things for money's sake don't get as best quality or as best backing from people that they might otherwise have gotten. Money is important and has tons of value, but if you're creating something, hey, I'm creating this cool artwork because I'm going to make a lot of money off of it, you're creating it for all of the wrong reasons. I'm going to be putting out a poll, Billy Bob, later today, after probably around 3:30, and what you guys want me to draw in the next live, or if you want me to see it do it in 4 different styles. I'm probably going to draw Mangle in 4 different styles, but people really want to see Withered Bonnie and Glamrock Bonnie, so maybe we'll do either one or both. We'll have to see. But I leave it up to the chat to determine it. Chat is the ultimate in deciding how things go. It seems like it should be darker. So what we're gonna do is mute this whole thing with a nice layer of gray ink. Yeah, I like that better. Hey Bengals, welcome on back. Can you draw one of your? I don't. As much as I appreciate the suggestion, I don't do PFPs, and I will give a polite and detailed reason why. When I was doing name art and I was taking tons of suggestions from people to do their name and do it in really fun, cool graffiti styles and things like that, something that I was doing a lot of when I was younger. So I was like, oh, it's a cool way to, people, nobody stayed around. People only wanted someone to create their name, and it just was really a toxic thing. It's like, oh, you haven't done my request. Well, I appreciate the fact that you're joining my channel to these people, I would say. And the first thing you're just saying is this name, and you don't respond with anything. It doesn't build up a good community. And if I start doing PFPs, everyone's going to want me to do a PFP, and that's just not the kind of streamer that I want to be. I'd rather create a piece of artwork if you said, "Hey, have you drawn this character? Can you draw this character?" And it's something that's in my wheelhouse. I'd love to do that. I'm open to taking suggestions about that, but PFPs are just, I'm sorry, they're not for me. And if I do apologize if that's something that bothers people, but yeah, it's just not something that I do. That is the long, convoluted answer. Thank you so much, Suba. I really appreciate that. Chaotic Rain, I really appreciate that. Can I do Pikachu in 4 different styles? Of course, I actually can. Um, I actually have done that in the past, but I can definitely do it again and give it a lot more thorough run through. Just gonna be a while because I do work a full-time gig and I have a couple of different things going on, but I am more than happy to take up that suggestion. Because I have a Freddy Fazbear drawing in 4 different styles coming out. And I see about the whole Wither Bonnie thing and see what else is coming in because I got to do a lot of Lilo and Stitch because that's coming out and people were craving for it. So I will try to squeeze it in the next couple of weeks where and if I can. All right. Let's see what we want to try to work on. Can we get the pauldron done? Well, you know what? We're going to try and work on this in the next. Let me see how much battery life I have on my phone. I have plenty of battery life. And we're going to try and work on this for the next 15 minutes. We'll see how much we can get done. I think we can get a decent amount done. And we'll go from there. I have the collaboration video coming out in less than an hour with Choxy. And I can't wait to see what he creates. For y'all who do not know, Choxy is an amazing artist who was a subscriber to my channel and still is, as I am to him, but he exploded in just gained so many followers. He's almost at 1 million followers. And I just told him, like, hey, listen, put your art out there. The art community is out there. People love to connect with artists. So he did, and glad that he did because he just got so many people wanting to see the great creations that he makes. And right now I'm just establishing the basic shadows with another layer of this marker. Going to be adding all different colors, but we want to just establish the basic dents that are in this, where like all the chipping has gone away. And then after that, we can add nice dark rich blues and work and scrub in all these nice little shadowed areas. Hey, Caplays. I just explained I don't really do PFPs. Unfortunately, it's just a really toxic vibe, so I try not to do them because people that ask for them, all they want is the art, and then sometimes they'll just click and then take the art and they're like, aha, look, I got the, and they just, I find that when you ask for things like that, people just generally don't stay with the channel. It's becomes a very toxic situation, so I'm not really a PFP drawer per se. Later, Coloring Master. Thank you so much again for all your comments and for your donation. It was really appreciative, really nice of you. You didn't have to do that, but thank you so much. Theo, yes, this is FNAF. This is Monty, Shattered Monty from Security Breach. It won. Monty won the poll that I put up, and so I decided to do Shattered because I thought it had a really nice aesthetic and look to it. Chaotic Rain, yes, these are premier Prismacolor. They are a bit expensive, so I know not everyone has it. Um, but yeah, they are a bit pricey, but definitely worth it. And as you can see, as we gently just layer in all these nice colors, all the shadows that come in from all the different variations of colors, we then start to see the development of the image a lot more. It just doesn't look like a mass of color. We're adding in all individual pieces of just, how do I put it? Basically, it becomes a whole interconnected thing. It doesn't just look like a lump of just random color. Enjoy games? Hey, listen, everyone's got their thing. Everyone's got their thing. I don't know if I would do that with Monty Gator, but whatever. Hey, like to each, as the wonderful saying goes, to each their own. And where was that? Oh, here we are. Thanks, Chaotic. So if you have any questions about the process specifically, feel free to ask. I do not mind. I do not gatekeep information. There's no way to basically help the community as a whole by, oh, I know, and I'm not going to share that with people. That makes you a nozzle. But no, I'm here to help anyone. So if you have a question about art, feel free to ask. Because it should always be enjoyed and shared by all so that everyone can create something awesome. Thank you so much, Tristan. It's great to see that you made this live. And this is just the slow working of this nice grayish blue right in. Just smush it along. We're not even worried about adding black yet. Black will come at the end. We'll add all that nice black rich color right at the end. But first we want to get a nice blend. But I still want to keep it rough. I still want to keep it choppy because I like the character that it adds. This isn't a smooth piece. There's lots of cracks, there's lots of dents. So something to amplify those dents is to have a nice roughed texture. Alrighty. So what I think I will do is scrub this purple back in. And this is something you can do when you learn mediums is you can take color pencil and lay it down and then take alcohol markers and apply them back over the top. And after you apply them over the top, you get these nice subtle variations. It eats away at the waxy and oiliness, and you get a nice textured effect. And then you can add back over the top. But it just brings out a certain boldness. And then I want to take some of that purple and throw it into this black. So that way, once again, it helps with the blending. It's harder to determine when one side ends and one side begins. And also thins out. Gives the darkness some color, some vibrancy, some richness. Like, look at the difference. It's now so much more striking, got so much more punch to it. So when we add in the color underneath all that black, it really makes it stand out. But do it sparingly. Don't just throw it in because it's like, it looks so great now. Because then it'll really take over the whole piece, and you don't want that. You really want it to just stand out in your darkest of dark areas. Really where you want the most to just kind of punch in. And where it's cohesive. So like I'm adding it here because it's purple here. I'm adding it here because the purple's here. I'm adding it here because the purple will all interconnect here and the blue that I added here. If I added purple randomly next to a yellow, then it might look a little too strong. It might pop a little too much. Why am I so underrated? I am far from underrated, but thank you. VX Shelly NX and Uzi. Hi, how are you? I have done a ton of Murder Drones arts, and since you are a Murder Drones fan, I will showcase some of those loveliness for you. There is Uzi. Probably one of my favorite Murder Drones as I shake my camera. Probably one of my favorite Murder Drones piece of artworks is Sinessa, just because, and I like the neon looks that are in these pieces. There's N. Once again, I love the neon looks that I threw in with the swooshing colors. Where's Alice? Alice. That's J, if I remember correctly. Tessa, I mean, it was all right. It was just a unique way of doing it. Same thing with the Sin. It was just a really unique way. So, where's Alice? I really like this just because I like the pose. I thought it was really fun and cute. And then, yeah, and that one. Yes. I like this one a lot too. Con was kind of cute. But yeah, since you're a Murder Jones fan, I figured you'd appreciate that. When is the stream over? Probably in the next couple minutes. I'm just going to finish up this pauldron. It's like another 5 minutes tops, maybe 10. And then I'm going to take a little break, grab a bite to eat, and then I'm going to hop over and watch Choxy's wonderful piece of artwork that he created in collaboration with him. So I cannot stress it enough. If you are not subscribing to the following people, all right, Artie D. If you're not following Choxy Art or Nicholas Moran, I highly recommend. They've been in the YouTube comments, but they are wonderful artists, incredibly talented. So if you are not following them, one, that is a crying shame. But two, yeah, definitely I would suggest following them. They are wonderfully talented artists. You know what? Let me do white color pencil here instead of white paint pen. Let's do some white color pencil, and then we'll do. Okay, now we can go in and add these little dabs of just smushed in white. That'll be a little bit more transparent. Has some frayedness to it. Give it just a touch more character. Okay, Grizzly, my next stream is probably going to be tomorrow, where we're going to finish this up probably around 4 o'clock after I get off of work. And yeah, we'll finish this up, and then we'll set up a stream for Tuesday-ish or something. We'll figure that out, because my day offs change dramatically week to week. Okay, let's just add in some little... Okay, and then we will take this. Where is it? Yeah, you know what? Let's take this. For one of the few times I will use a Posca, but I have to use it sparingly because they are really powerful with their color selections. But they are a lot richer. Poscas, for good and bad, their colors are very saturated, meaning very, very dark. Meaning they're very rich in color. When a little goes a long way, I should say, with a Posca. That's what I mean by saturation. After we're done with this and the Posca dries, we'll add in some more cracking details with the black pen, and then we will call this stream quits. So we got about another 5 minutes, I'd say. Another 5 minutes, and we shall be donezo. Thank you, Soundwave. Yeah, Monty won the community poll, so the fans will get them some Monty Gator. I generally draw what the fans request. If it wins a community poll, and I follow what the chat desires. And that's pretty, I think, not only fair, but it's also, if you're willing to take the time to vote and interact with my channel and comment, etc., then I will be happy to oblige with what the desires of the overall people in my community are. Now you might be thinking, oh man, this is really like a really, really stark black. Might be a little too strong. That's mainly because I really want these particular darks to stand out. You know, I can add some browns, which I will in a second, but for the most part, I really want these darks to stand out. I like when you can really feel like it's being pressed back deep into the drawing. So when we take, for instance, these browns and then start to add in some little micro cracks, they're faint, but you can still see them. They're not as big, and that's okay. Just throw in a couple of cracks here and there with a color pencil. Add all those nice textures, as little or as much as you want. In this case, I'm going a little bit more than what's in the drawing because I want to create it. I don't want to create an exact copy. I want a little roughed up Monty Gator. A little bit more, closer to ruin. Make it really just cracked. Like it's had a super bad fall. Angle, Gooby, thank you so much. Ah, you're a Slipknot fan. Yes. Psychosocial and Duality are some of my favorite songs from them. I remember growing up as a kid listening to Duality in the midnight. I think 98 Duality came out. I want to say 98. I do love the horror style mask. It's, yeah. When I'm angry, I definitely put on some Slipknot. Shadow Milk and Cookies. Hey, welcome in. Sorry, but we are right at the edge of the stream, but I'm happy to help questions that might be answered in the next minute or two. Ultimate Figure, you came in like at the best and the worst time. Best because it's so much detail, but worst because we are almost wrapping up this session, but it is still great to see a regular in the comments. Thank you so much. MCR, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. What was my first drawing? Like ever as a kid? Can't remember because I'm 42 years old and I can't remember back that far. I can show you the first drawing that I ever have, and it'll be a good way to end it on top of Monty Gator. I have the very first drawing that I have a sketchbook in, and I just have to find it. Here we are. And this is a good way to end the stream. This was a drawing that I did when I was 14 years old. You can see 1998. You can see by the yellowing paper. But yeah, 1998. A pen drawing. Oh God, probably most of you weren't even born in 1998, and I was 14 years old. But yep, that was probably the first thing that I have. It's actually the first thing that I know that I have from when I was a kid. Angle, it's okay. I'm gonna be for everyone who's a little upset that I'm just been at it for almost 3 hours. Chalksy's got a video of us having a collaboration. I just want to grab a bite to eat and something to drink before his video comes out in a half an hour. So it's a collaboration between me and Chalksy. I will definitely link it in my community. It's a Sonic and Shadow drawing. I think it's going to come out amazing. Braden, thank you so much as I whack the thing. So I will be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and we're going to finish up the rest of this. So I will let everyone know in the community tomorrow that it'll be 4 o'clock, and we're going to finish up the belly and the claws, and that should take about an hour and a half. And yeah, I'm just happy that everyone stopped by. Really loving the way everything is going. I love the quality, the textures that are in this piece. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next video as always. Love the support, everyone.